Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of what we call the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to our second presentation of the month as a follow up to our prior one entitled Will You Be Ready? And as you'll recall, and if you haven't seen it, you might want to go back and watch that one first because it'll be a better lead into this video for you. But in the last video, entitled Will You Be Ready? This is actually part two. The last video we promised I would talk about some changes, some turnaround situations after 2009 that we were able to accomplish with a number of our different clients. And I want to talk about how we helped them prepare, because the key was are they ready for higher milk prices? Yeah, they were, from the standpoint of receiving them and the boost that would give to their cash flow and profitability. But there was more to the total picture of these success stories at Success Strategies. And I think it's key that we ask the question, not only were they ready mentally, of course they were ready for that, and cash flow wise, but we need to understand, get under the surface a little bit and understand why. And the key was that we worked together. It wasn't just me and it wasn't just the client. It was a combination of our efforts and other professionals that they worked with that helped them prepare. So in the first case, this is an operation that was milking about 1,300 cows in a facility, in a milking facility anyway, that was designed for about 2,400 cows. And making some changes, a little bit of improvements in the breeding program. We changed around the nutrition program. I'm not a nutritionist, so it wasn't me that made those changes, of course. But we were able to get their production levels up from 70 pounds per cow on this Holstein operation up to 80 pounds per cow. And that was monumental. Frankly, that was, like a 14-15% increase in milk flow, which helped them tremendously, especially as prices rose. We also position them through reproduction and keeping calves alive better than they had historically. We were able to experience 10 to 12% growth in our animal numbers, and they were able to cash flow that until their numbers started growing. And frankly, from about 2010 until probably about 2016, 17, we went from 1,300 milking cows to going through the barn to having 2,400 through there, and that has boosted them, their profitability tremendously. They've actually made money the last 3 years, and that's been pretty exciting and somewhat of a rarity in the dairy industry for 2016 through 2018. The second case I'd like to talk about is a situation where we really had to streamline the breeding program. They had some issues, as you will understand when I tell you their pregnancy rate was somewhere around 14% when we started with them, and today it's around 21%, which for the size of the herd that they run is a nice figure. I mean, I'd like it to be 25%, and we could get there. If we stay on track, I think we will get there. But we've made some, in the last year or so, we've made some additional changes to a double offsync program. But the key is, in this one, we also went up in milk from 71 pounds per cow to 75 pounds per cow. So that's been a nice increase. And through internal growth and some purchases in this case, prior case it was all internal growth, we went from milking 2,000 cows through the barn to having around 2,700 today in milk, not counting dry cows. And so that has made a tremendous change, along with the breeding program improvements in the nutrition program and milk flow. Again, they just have made some tremendous progress. So you might be asking yourself at this point, does this stuff only work if I milk 2,000 cows? Well, let me set your mind at ease, because in the third case, it was a 700 cow herd that we took to their current level of about 1,100 cows. One of the keys was we started utilizing an outside calf ranch that took our death loss from prior to my working with these people. They were losing about 18% of their calves, which is just horrific from the standpoint of maintaining any herd growth. We got it down to a level over the last 8 years. We've probably averaged around 5%, maybe slightly over 5% losses of calves, and have done they've done a tremendous job. It's given us the opportunity to grow internally, through internal growth rather, and that has been tremendous. We've also worked dramatically on cost containment. We've essentially dropped their cost per hundredweight by about $2.50 per hundredweight. Now, before you think, what did you do? Wipe out the whole labor force? That wasn't the case. It was a combination of expenses that I frankly felt some of them were out of control, not being monitored carefully, which they are today. But there were also some cost cuts and a combination of capital investments, a few automation tasks, and a couple other changes that we made that allowed them to lower their cost per hundredweight nicely. It certainly helped that we picked up 5 pounds per cow per day today versus where we had been before we started this program. So that helped dilute somewhat the costs just with greater number of hundredweights. But also we made some nice capital investments that have paid off tremendously, and we also made some, just for lack of a better term, cost cuts that were necessary and needed, and have worked out relatively well. I don't know if at this point, after hearing these 3 examples, if you're noticing some positive common elements. But again, as I said in my prior video to this, it's having the pregnancy rate and heat detection rate where they should be. I like 25% on pregnancy rate and 60% on heat detection rate. Is it attainable? I can absolutely attest that it is. Is it easy? No, frankly, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And the reality is, like anything in life that's worth pursuing, I think, it takes some work, takes some planning, it takes some key people involved in the process. But I want to encourage you that you too can get there if you aren't already. And if you are, bravo, I'm thrilled for you, and I'm sure you're reaping the benefits of that. The other thing I think we need to consider is, was everything positive for them excuse me, through this whole process? Frankly, the answer is no. However, I think overall they definitely have enjoyed better cash flow. They've reduced their stress levels, which I think is key in any business, because it's hard to get excited about your business when things aren't exciting and aren't positive. And I understand that. That's true for any business, including my own. But the better cash flow, lower stress levels, they were all put on a more positive path where we're attaining goals, we're achieving goals, and frankly, doing something a lot of businesses don't do, and that is setting goals. Setting and establishing those goals that we want to achieve in the next 12 months, 36 months, 5 years, whatever the time period you want to look at. And I think we've got them on a positive path. And then, what's really interesting is, and this is true for both 2009 and today in 2019, we have banks seeking their financing. And that truly, both then in 2009 and today, was a rarity. There aren't a whole lot of banks pursuing a lot of dairy financing, but these people have had multiple offers, and I think that's pretty exciting, and I'm thrilled for them. Hopefully these are good examples that give you some insight to the type of work we do. If you're interested in learning more about this, you can contact me at www.success-strategies.com or John at success-strategies.com. You can email me directly. But I want to share with you a concept that I've been talking about, and that is our upcoming Success Strategies Mastermind groups. Sign-ups will begin in February of 2019. And you can see those at our website, success-strategies.com. And I would urge you to join us. It'll give you a great opportunity to learn from other speakers and myself things we're doing with clients that really help them succeed more fully and at a higher level. And it'll also give you an opportunity to interact and learn from other producers. Some of whom may have had the same challenges that you're facing in your business today. So I would encourage you to be looking for the signups. Again, I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated, which we just celebrated our 20th anniversary, and we're excited to still be of service to people. And I'm also the creator of